Hey there, welcome back. Today, we're diving into one of the biggest Social Security changes in decades, and strangely enough, barely anyone is talking about it. On July 4th, while most Americans were celebrating Independence Day, Congress quietly passed something that could change retirement for millions of seniors. It's called the One Big Beautiful Bill, and if you qualify, it could mean up to $63 billion in tax relief flowing back into the pockets of retirees. We're talking about eliminating taxes on Social Security income for most seniors and adding a new $6,000 per person bonus deduction at least through 2028. That's right. For the first time in decades, Social Security checks could come to you without the IRS taking a slice. But before you get too excited, there are important details, limits, and challenges you need to know. Because while this bill sounds like a win, critics argue it doesn't go far enough, and some even say it's a political move that won't fix the deeper problems facing Social Security. So stick with me, because in this video, we'll break down exactly what's in the bill, who qualifies for the new deductions, how much money you could actually save, and why some experts believe this $63 billion in relief is only the beginning of a much bigger fight. And hey, before we dive in, let me ask you something. Do you think seniors should pay taxes on their Social Security at all? After all, it's money you already worked for, already paid into with your payroll taxes. Should the government get to tax it a second time? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your take. And if you appreciate clear, calm breakdowns of complicated money news like this, go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming. All right, let's get into it. To really understand why this new bill matters, we need to rewind a bit. When Social Security was first created back in the 1930s, the idea of taxing benefits wasn't even on the table. People contributed through payroll taxes, and in retirement, they got their benefits back. Simple. But in 1983, as the Social Security Trust Fund was facing insolvency, Congress passed reforms that included, for the first time, taxing up to 50% of benefits for higher-income retirees. Then, in 1993, that expanded, and up to 85% of benefits became taxable if you crossed certain income thresholds. And here's the kicker. Those thresholds were never indexed for inflation, which means, over time, more and more middle-class seniors were dragged into paying taxes on benefits that were never supposed to be taxed in the first place. Fast forward to today, and nearly half of all retirees owe federal taxes on their Social Security. For some, it eats up thousands of dollars a year. That's why the new One Big Beautiful Bill is making headlines, because for many seniors, this could finally undo decades of tax creep. So what exactly does the bill do? Let's break it down. The headline number is $63 billion. That's the estimated total amount of tax savings seniors will keep over the next few years thanks to this law. Here's how. Eliminates federal taxes on Social Security income for most seniors. If your income falls below the thresholds, your Social Security checks will no longer be taxed at all. That means for millions of retirees, the check you see is the check you keep. Seniors 65 and older who file taxes individually and earn less than $75,000 qualify for an extra $6,000 deduction. This deduction reduces your taxable income, lowering your tax bill even further. Right now, these benefits are written to last until 2028. Unless Congress acts again, the relief could expire, which is why some critics call it a Band-Aid fix. Now, let's make this real with an example. Imagine you're a single retiree earning $45,000 a year, including Social Security. Under the old system, part of your Social Security was taxable, and you might have owed, say, $2,000 in federal income taxes. With this new law, that tax bill could drop to zero. And on top of that, you'd get an extra $6,000 deduction, lowering your taxable income even more. That's real money back in your pocket. money for groceries, medical bills, or even just peace of mind. So why did this happen now? And why was it signed on July 4th of all days? Well, let's be real. Social Security is always political. Both parties know seniors are a powerful voting bloc. By offering immediate tax relief, lawmakers can claim they're protecting retirees without tackling the harder, longer-term fixes like raising the payroll tax cap or adjusting retirement ages. President Trump, who signed the bill, has long promised to protect Social Security. This law gives him a concrete achievement to point to, a way of saying, "See, I cut your taxes and made retirement a little easier." But critics argue that while $63 billion sounds huge, it's actually just a drop in the bucket compared to the bigger funding crisis looming for Social Security. Groups like the Senior Citizens League, TSCL, have praised the bill as a step in the right direction, but say it falls short. Why? Because while middle-class seniors may benefit the most, the poorest seniors still struggle. According to TSCL, about 13% of seniors live on less than $1,000 a month, well below the poverty line. For them, a tax deduction doesn't do much. If your income is that low, you weren't paying taxes to begin with. What those seniors really need is direct cash support or a higher minimum benefit. TSCL is calling on Congress to go further, to adjust the COLA formula so it better reflects seniors' actual expenses, and to consider one-time catch-up payments to cover years of inadequate COLAs. In other words, this bill helps, but it doesn't solve everything. So let's get practical. How do you know if you'll benefit? And if you currently pay taxes on Social Security benefits, then chances are you're about to see a lighter tax bill or no tax bill at all. That means more cash stays with you. And collectively, it means retirees across the country keep $63 billion that would have otherwise gone to Washington. But don't forget, the clock is ticking. These changes last only through 2028 unless extended. Here's where things get complicated. Even though this bill gives relief, it doesn't fix the long-term math problems Social Security faces. According to the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget, the trust funds that pay Social Security benefits could run dry by 2033. At that point, unless Congress acts, benefits would automatically be cut by about 23% across the board. That's huge! Imagine your $2,000 monthly check suddenly dropping to about $1,540. So while this bill feels like a win today, it doesn't address the storm coming tomorrow. It's like patching a hole in your roof while ignoring the fact that the entire foundation is sinking. Lawmakers will eventually have to make tough decisions, raise taxes, cut benefits, raise the retirement age, or some mix of all three. Until then, these short-term relief measures are nice, but they're not a permanent fix. Stories from the ground. Let's make this personal. Take Margaret, a 72-year-old widow in Ohio living on Social Security and a small pension. Every year, she dreaded filing taxes because part of her Social Security was taxable, costing her about $1,200 annually. This new bill wipes that out entirely. For her, it feels like a lifeline. Now compare that with James, a 68-year-old in Florida who lives solely on $900 a month from Social Security. He was never paying taxes to begin with, so this bill doesn't change his situation. What he really needs is a higher monthly benefit. These two stories show why the bill is both a big win and a missed opportunity. It helps millions, but leaves some of the most vulnerable still struggling. On the one hand, the One Big Beautiful Bill is historic. It delivers $63 billion in relief, eliminates taxes on Social Security for most, and adds a bonus $6,000 deduction that could save retirees thousands. On the other hand, it's temporary, it doesn't help the poorest seniors, and it doesn't fix the looming insolvency crisis. Still, for millions of Americans, this law means real breathing room, a chance to keep more of what they earned and to feel, finally, like the system is working for them instead of against them. Now I want to hear from you. Do you see this bill as a real solution or just a political band-aid? And should Congress make it permanent or go even further? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this breakdown helpful, please give this video a like, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss future updates on Social Security and retirement. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.